News live at 6 starts right now with breaking news.
Yeah, tonight for the first time we are hearing what Charlotte Fire could have done differently when an apartment building under construction in SouthPark went up in flames, killing 2 workers who were stranded inside. Thanks for being with us. I'm Scott Wickersham.
And I'm Erica Bryant. The official report is just out on that fire from nearly 16 months ago, and Channel 9 got a first look at it. Our Joe Bruno spoke exclusively with the fire chief, Reginald Johnson, about the changes that are now coming as a result of what they've learned from this report. Joe?
It was one of Charlotte's largest fires ever. 2 workers lost their lives. Charlotte firefighters risked theirs to put it out. Chief Johnson ordered a lengthy investigation into its origin and CFD's response. And for the first time, we're getting a look at the changes that the department is putting in place as a result of it.
These sounds, these images, these faces will forever be in the mind of Charlotteans. Perhaps no one more than Charlotte Fire Chief Reginald Johnson.
What I reflect on is just the bravery, dedication, and service that our men and women do on a daily basis, but you could see it there that day.
Following the fire, Chief Johnson ordered an independent review, resulting in this in-depth report detailing what happened, how Charlotte Fire responded, and what changes need to be made.
We used to say not if, but when. Prayerfully, with some of the changes, we won't see another one, but there's a lot of construction that goes on in this city and very well could have another incident. And so we want to be prepared for that, make necessary changes so that we'll be better prepared when it happens again.
The report's authors painted a common theme: confusion at arrival over the radio and who was in charge.
When you look back on the day, do you see more organization or confusion?
I would say that the event was changing so rapidly that you could give an order now, and by the time 2 minutes happens and that person or that crew gets in place, that order would have to change. And so that in itself, it was just hard to keep up with the evolving incident itself, but I'm not going to use the term necessarily confusion.
Channel 9 has reported on the initial water supply issues. When Engine 14 arrived, firefighters hooked into the fire department connection after being told it was operational. It was not. Engine 12 ran into a similar issue when they took their hose bundles into the lower deck and stretched them to the standpipe. Again, it wasn't operational. Firefighters were also told 2 workers were trapped on the 4th floor. They were actually on the 6th. The report detailed numerous radio challenges, including heavy traffic. A firefighter had to remove his mask to talk on the radio. That wasn't acknowledged. When Captain Mike Watts and rescuing firefighters declared a mayday, he radioed Tower 26. Get the bucket in the air. I'm staring at the top of your truck. We're on the 6th floor. Come get us. That message was either covered up by heavy traffic or unheard.
Again, it goes back to what we talked about as far as radio discipline. It's not just talking too much on the radio, which does play into that. It is also listening to the radio. Again, we talked about the fireground noise, and some people just aren't able to hear the radio traffic at that point in time.
And at times, the report calls into question who was in charge during the crisis. It notes almost everyone interviewed relayed a story of being given orders by more than 1 or 2 chief officers that were in conflict with their established chain of command.
There were some double orders given, and so that's the part where we just need to get things cleaned up.
As part of the independent review, the DHS Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency prepared an improvement plan for Charlotte Fire. The plan calls for assigning an aide to the battalion chief. Chief Johnson says doing so will allow the incident commander to focus on strategy and tactics.
Once they're on the scene, then you have someone standing next to you that can monitor the 2 channels that we're supposed to monitor anyway, which could end up being more depending on how the incident grows. And take care of the accountability parts.
The fire's size inspired an all-hands-on-deck response, with some firefighters who weren't even assigned to be there dispatching themselves to the scene. The report calls them well-intentioned, but unless they have a specific assignment directly from command, they should only go to the staging area.
Any disaster that you go back and look at, they'll say hey, volunteers are great, donating supplies is great, but if it's not coordinated, then it just causes more confusion. And so we're working on a virtual way to notify people. For an example would be, hey, we need 3 battalion chiefs to come back and do X. Okay, once we hear from 3, that's it. These 3 are gone. The rest of you all will notify you if we need more help. And it's just to control that.
At the heart of the report is Reuben Holmes and DeMonte Sherrill. The 2 died while working at the site. They were installing windows. Chief Johnson says he's grateful for the men and women who risked their lives fighting this fire, one of the largest in Charlotte's history. And while the report is extensive, he feels it will better prepare CFD for the next fire, big or small.
We do a great job every day, and we try to learn from every incident. And this was a big one, and so we want to learn.
Charlotte Fire was not notified that vertical construction had even started on this project. Chief Johnson says the department is now involved in pre-planning meetings with developers to discuss needs and construction timelines. Erica?
Yeah, I talked to some of the firefighters after all this, Joe, and they say that they would do it all over again, our heroes who helped to save lives. Thank you.